now.
Few players captured the imagination of football fans more than Roger Staubach, the Heisman Trophy winner from the Naval Academy. Most of us remember him as Captain Comeback, the fearless commander of the Twilight Rescue Mission. 23 times he brought the Cowboys from behind to win in the fourth quarter, and 14 of those times were in the last 2 minutes or overtime. But more importantly, Staubach led the Cowboys to 2 Super Bowl championships. He retired after the 1979 season as one of the great ones.
The biggest thing about Roger was the fact that he never quit. It didn't matter how much the Cowboys were down. I remember in San Francisco, they were ahead of us 14 or 15 points, and it was 3 minutes to go or something, and they were coming by our bench and hollering obscene things at us and calling us losers. And I'll never forget, Roger pulled the game out, and a few seconds before it was over, completed a pass to Lee Folkens, and we beat them. And that was the greatest comeback I'd ever seen, but he did it over and over and over throughout the years.
I believed that Roger was going to win every game that we played, no matter how much time was left in the ballgame. I always believed that Roger could win the game.
Well, the Cowboys need a miracle. Roger takes the snap, pumps it once. He's going long. Down the near sideline for Drew Pearson. Pearson makes the catch at the 5, touchdown! Staubach hit Pearson on a 50-yard touchdown. Would you believe it?
The greatest thing about Roger Staubach was he was a tremendous competitor. You could not do anything with Roger. I don't care what you were doing, whether you were just taking a 40-yard sprint or you were playing one-on-one basketball. He's not going to let you beat him. I don't care what the stakes are, whether it's just for fun. That's what made him great.
Like all quarterbacks, Roger Staubach had an intense desire to win. And like all the great quarterbacks, he could communicate that desire to his receivers, often lifting them above their normal capabilities. Staubach had a certain sense of confidence in himself and in the team that caught the imagination of players and fans alike. Part of him was as sweet and as innocent as a choir boy. But the part of him that was a football player was a pure killer.
You really do shocks and struts too?
Yes.
Oil changes?
Yes.
Tire rotation?
Yes.
Batteries?
Yes.
Back rubs?
Yes.
The Midas Touch Maintenance Package for just $29.95. We'll change your oil, rotate your tires, and do a courtesy check, including brakes, battery, filters, and more.
Trust the Midas Touch.
Wonder what it's like being an old guy. Age gives you wisdom, and age makes you wear your pants up around your head. Anyways, I got wisdom now. I go to McDonald's, hit that dollar menu, get the McChicken sandwich, fries, save all kinds of money. That's young guy wisdom. And these are young guy pains.
We never give in to fads. Discover the timeless beauty of Moen. Moen. Buy it for looks, buy it for life.
Here's a fun fact. Erected in 1963, the walnut stands 15 feet high.
I'll be in the car.
Go where you want with your free weekend from Avis.
Orca! Orca! Oh, I love Orca.
I thought you loved the humpback.
I recently changed my mind.
But I thought we established that the Orca was mine.
Now rent for a week and get a free weekend to use later. Find our lowest prices at avis.com.
Every day it's a battle between you and your feet. Now they're itching for a fight. Fight back with Gold Bond. Maximum strength medicine, foot powder, or cooling spray for maximum relief. For victory over wet, itchy feet. Gold Bond Foot Care. Victory over defeat.
I tell you, when I went out against other teams, they were the enemy. I mean, I didn't like them, and I didn't particularly after the game go over and want to shake everybody's hand either. I mean, I wasn't a poor sport, but heck, that's, you know, those guys are the guys that you need to play again. You need to beat them again, and you can't get too close to your enemy.
More than a quarterback, Roger Staubach was a leader. It was his character and courage, rather than his talent, that carried him beyond the playing field and into the realm of popular myth. He was the White Knight of the Cowboys' Camelot, the Galahad of the gridiron, who was as flawless off the field as he was on it.
Roger, you have an all-American image. You're kind of a straight guy. Do you enjoy it, or is it a burden?
You interviewed Joe Namath. Everyone in the world compares me to Joe Namath, you know, as far as, you know, the idea of off the field. He's single, bachelor swinging, I'm married and family, and, you know, he's having all the fun. And, you know, I enjoy sex as much as Joe Namath. Only I do it with one girl, you know?
There you go.
But it's still fun.
It wasn't his deal to go hang around bars and chase women or anything like that because, you know, he had a family. He was a solid person. His teammates respected him for that because they knew he wasn't a phony.
And I remember one time we were in a meeting and everybody was dipping snuff or chewing tobacco, you know, and Roger, to be one of the guys, you know, he wanted to dip a snuff, so I gave him some snuff.
And so he took what Walt would call an association dip, a rodeo association dip, which means a handful of this stuff, and he stuck it in his mouth there. And
I got sick. I put it in my mouth, and I started swallowing some of that stuff. And so I went in this team meeting, and I started getting sick, and I started sweating, and I sweated so much it just dripped right on the desk. And I wanted to get out of there, but I knew they were looking at me, but the film was going on, it was dark, and they knew I was probably getting sick, because I had never had it before. So I didn't want to get up until the film went off and we got a break.
And we got a sliding glass door in this meeting room, you know, and Roger, he jumps up, goes over, and there's a bunch of rose bushes and stuff out there. And so he just, you know, pukes his guts out, and he comes back, and he's still white, you know, and he sits there for a little while longer, and directly, out he goes again, you know. And Coach Landry said something to the effect that don't ever give Roger any more tobacco, you know.
It's true that Tom Landry called the plays, but Staubach's quick decisions under pressure often made him personally responsible for the Cowboys' success. Always cornered but never conquered, Staubach won the respect of friend and foe alike.
we used to have a saying on the defensive line that we're going to sacrifice our body for the team. And we knew that Roger would sacrifice his body.
I had nothing but the utmost respect for Roger Staubach. He was tough, you know. He took a lot of big hits, but he was one of those guys that always got up and dusted off the seat of his pants, went back in the huddle, never cried, never complained, never rolled around on the ground looking for a flag or anything like that.
When you're knocked down, you either can lay there and not do anything about it, or you get up and do something about it. And I used to like to bounce back also. I mean, I used to like to sometimes be down and have people stepping on me a little bit so I could, you know, kind of recoil and come back.
No player swashed so brave a buckle as the daring midshipman from the Naval Academy. He was an officer and a gentleman. He was a man you trusted instinctively, whose every word you believed, for whose reputation you would fight. and whose friend you longed to be.
Today, Best Buy gives you the power to control KG with one finger.